streets to us here in the studio. Joining me, Brad Thomas and Arsalan Iftikhar. Brad is the author of The Trump Factor. He was described by President Trump as the only outsider who gained access behind the Trump walls. And Arsalan is the author of Scapegoats, How Islamophobia Helps Our Enemies and Threatens Our Freedoms. He's also a human rights lawyer. Good to have you both with us. Brad, you're a Trump supporter, and I'm wondering if it was a particularly good day for him or not a very good day.
You know, I think it was a good day. I think, I was standing there listening and watching the inauguration speech today, and it was interesting. As I sat there, I've attended probably dozens of Trump rallies while he was running, and this was, to me, he was appealing to all of those people. It was like all of these rallies were combined in the inauguration, because I think that's directly what Trump was appealing to, is everyone standing there.
Even when he was attacking the establishment, many of those members sitting behind him.
Sure, and that's the same thing we've seen at a number of these rallies. The only thing I really think that he didn't talk about that I missed was, of course, he didn't talk about the wall. I think he really was focusing on the business perspective of his businesses and really helping this country grow. Job creation is a really big part of that, and I heard a lot of that in the speech today. So I think Monday morning it's back to business. As Jay-Z, the rapper, said, I'm not a businessman, I'm in business, man. Yeah. And so what I mean by that, I think Monday he's going to be back to business. Job creation is going to be #1, and I think we're going to see a number of these announcements still continue to resonate for Americans today.
Was it an appropriate speech?
No, not at all. I think, as Brad said, it was a campaign speech. It was not an inaugural address like we've historically seen here in the United States. Inaugural addresses, Jane, historically have sort of been magnanimous, above the fray. He didn't even acknowledge Hillary Clinton, his rival, who was at the inauguration, even though she had no obligation to be. And you know what I think it really sent home was the fact that, that he does not have a political mandate. I mean, he lost a popular vote by 3 million people during his campaign. He managed to disparage or mock women, Latinos, Muslims, people with disabilities, over 51% of the American population. And for many of us, we see him as the most unfit president in American history. He
spoke about appealing and uniting Americans of all colors. I mean, how did you feel when you heard that as a Muslim? What are you looking forward to for the next 4 years at least?
Well, first of all, what I've always said is that if you can replace the word Muslims with Jews and sound like a Nazi, you probably shouldn't say it. And so when, during his campaign, he talks about banning Muslims from entering the United States, when he referred to Mexicans as rapists, casting these sorts of blanket aspersions, that really spoke to our lesser selves here as America. As we know, by the year 2050, people of color and minorities will constitute a numerical majority here in the United States. And again, for many of us, the fact that he lost a popular vote by 3 million votes and still happened to win the presidency is bananas to us.
Let's stick with the Nazi word that was used to describe intelligence forces when they were investigating his affairs in Russia. Any indication from his speech today, the people that he's chosen, what his relationship will be with the intelligence services and the media?
Sure. Well, I think, Donald Trump, again, he speaks with strength. He is, I think, when he's negotiating a lot of things you've seen, again, he's absolutely right, taking that from the business approach. He's taken that and applied that tough, hard negotiating skill set to the White House. Now, I think that's a good thing. Again, I'm a Trump supporter, and I think he's been able to take this very tough stand against his positions and make it stronger and stronger. So I think he's become a very effective, tough negotiator, and he's surrounding himself with a lot of tough people that can help him, move the needle for the country. And I think that's really what it comes down to, is just being able to do exactly what he said during these rallies. Security is a big thing. Protecting this country is a big thing. That's what a lot of these people that did vote for Donald Trump, including myself, we voted for the security of this country, and that's a very important issue. I believe Donald Trump will deliver on that.
The people that he's chosen, many of them are considered hardliners. Some of them have got nothing to do with the jobs that they are going into. What does that set us up for? And are they capable of dealing real, tangible security situations?
Well, I mean, I think that, time will tell, Jane. I think that if you look at his cabinet picks, whether it's for the Secretary of Education or, Department of Defense or Attorney General of the United States with Jeff Sessions, these are people who in many ways have, during their own political or academic careers, have called many times for the dissolution of the exact agency that they are now set to lead. Betsy DeVos, his education secretary nominee, has once said that public education is a quote-unquote dead end in America, even though 90% of American children were schooled in public schools. So just let that sink in for a second, that our next Secretary of Education could think that public education, public schools are a dead end, when that is part of actually the American social fabric of the United States.
Education, obviously important. We're going to have to leave it there. So, thank you very much. And Brad, I have to say you look very fetching. I believe you're dashing off to a ball.
I am, first. Looking forward to it.
Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.